channel. Please share it with your near and dear. Now let us learn how could have plus V3 is used for some other purpose also. Right. Could have plus V3. It could have, they could have lost the match. Right. Now, so far we have learnt how to use could have plus V3. For past possible things, we use could have plus V3. May have plus V3, might have plus V3, could have plus V3 also we use for past possible things. But here, another way of using could have plus V3 is also there. We use it for the things which were possible but did not happen. Means there was a chance to happen in the past, but really it did not happen. So there was a chance to happen something in the past, but it did not happen. In what way? Number one, Rani met with an accident. She met with an accident, but now she is all right. Now she is okay. But really speaking, there was a chance for her to die. To talk about the chance, we use could have plus V3. She could have died, third form. She could have died. So there was a chance for her to die, but she escaped from that death. So to talk like that, we use could have plus V3. And I was passed with the border mark in 10th standard. So use border mark only I got in 10th standard. I could have failed, means there was a chance to fail really, but it did not happen. Luckily I passed, but there was a chance to fail. To talk about that, you see, chance, we use subject could have plus V3. India won by just one run. Just one run, by one run only it won. But they could have lost the match. They could have lost the match. But there was a chance to lose the match really, but it did not happen. For such kind of things also, we use could have plus V3. How to use can't have plus V3, couldn't have plus V3. Right. Can't have or couldn't have. Failed. He can't have or couldn't have failed. The computer can't or couldn't have made the mistake. Right. Now let's come to this one. Can't have or couldn't have plus V3. When we feel sure something was not possible to happen. Something was not possible means it was impossible. It was not possible to happen in the past. When we feel, so we use this can't have or couldn't have plus V3. For example, you see he has gone to his office today. I saw him go to his office today really. And so I feel sure he can't have been ill. There is no chance for him to be ill. He couldn't have been ill because I saw him go to his office today. As I saw him go to his office today, I am sure that it was not possible for him to be ill. When I feel it was not possible, I use can't have or couldn't have. Right. Andrew is intelligent. He works very hard. As far as my knowledge goes, he is intelligent and he works very hard also. So I feel sure he can't have failed. If anybody tells you that he has failed, you don't believe in that one. And you say in this way, He can't have failed, or he couldn't have failed. It was not possible for him to fail. It was impossible for him to fail. The computer can't have made the mistake, or the computer couldn't have made the mistake. It was not possible for the computer to make the mistake. It might have been the mistake of a man. Like that we can use can't have or couldn't have plus V3. Now let us learn how to use should have or ought to have plus V3. Him. Right. Now let's come to, okay, should have plus V3 or ought to have plus V3. So when do we use this one? When someone did not do right thing in the past, or something did not happen in a right way in the past. Okay, in the past something did not happen in a right way, if you feel, or if you feel that somebody did not do a right thing in the past, we use this should have or ought to have plus V3. Okay, now I posted the letter 10 days ago. So 10 days ago I posted the letter, but it did not reach really. So far it hasn't reached. Then I can say in this way, it it should have it should have it it should have arrived, means by now only it should have arrived, or it ought to have arrived. It did not really reach even after 10 days also. Then we say that means something did not happen in a right way. So as that thing did not happen in a right way, we use in this way, should have plus V3 or ought to have plus V3. I posted the letter 10 days ago. It should have arrived, or it ought to have arrived. Like that we can say, ours is the better team. I feel that ours is the better team between the two. We should have won. We should have won. We should have won. But it did not happen like that. We lost the match really. So then I feel in this way, and so I say we should have won, or we ought to have won. Means it happened something in a different way. Means ours is the better team. Really, truly speaking, we have to win really, but it did not happen like that. We lost it. Then we say we should have won. We ought to have won. Right. Okay. Next, they should not have listened to. They should not have or ought not to have listened to our conversation. They should not have listened to our conversation, or they ought not to have listened to our conversation. It was a secret one, because it was a secret one. Something wrong happened here. So when you feel something wrong happened in the past, we use in this way, they should not have listened to our conversation, or they ought not to have listened to our conversation in this way. And he was very much annoyed. Some person was very much annoyed. So for that I can say you shouldn't have or you should not have abused him. Should not have or ought not to have. You should not have abused him. As you abused him, he was very much annoyed. But you should not have abused him. You ought not to have abused him. Something went wrong like that. So in this way, to show some person did not do right thing in the past, or something did not happen in a right way in the past, we use should have or ought to have in the past. Now let us learn must have plus V3. Must have plus V3. Must have on the was. Now let us learn this one. Must have plus V3. That is the opposite thing for this one. Negative thing for this must have is can't have plus V3 or could it have plus V3. But when we feel sure something happened in the past, so in the past, when we feel sure something happened in the past, we use it. You are panting very much. So at present, her condition is panting condition, like when he says, generally we can guess and we feel sure. You must have run very fast. You must have run. Third form is also run. You must have run very fast. Means I feel sure that you must have run very fast in the past. Okay. And in the same way, this dress is a quality one. When it is a quality one, generally we feel sure. In what way? It must have been expensive. It must have been expensive. And in the same way, for example, A says, my purse is lost. Then B says, someone must have stolen on the bus. After getting down from the bus, if a person says, my purse is lost, generally, what do we say? So we say in this way, someone must have stolen on the bus. I am sure that this thing happened. Which thing? Somebody must have stolen the purse. Okay. So someone must have stolen on the bus. Okay. Someone must have stolen it. Also we can add must have stolen it on the bus. In this way, when we feel sure something happened in the past, we use it. Just negative for this one is can't have or couldn't have plus V3. Now let us learn needn't have plus V3. Needn't have plus V3. Okay, subject plus needn't have plus V3. Okay. We use this structure here. Number one. Right. Here, needn't. When we did something in the past, means we did something in the past, but now we feel that it was not necessary. We did something in the past, but now we feel that it was not necessary. For such conditions, we use needn't have plus V3. There there are a number of buses at regular intervals to Dilsuknagar. Many buses are there from here to Dilsuknagar. So that's why now we feel you needn't have taken a taxi. Means he took a taxi and he went to Dilsuknagar. After that action took place, we talk about this thing that there was no need of going like that. So then you needn't have taken a taxi, you can say. And now there was no urgency. You needn't have called me in the midnight. You called me in the midnight. Really there was no urgency. But even though you called me, so then I can say, you needn't have called me in the midnight. It was not necessary for you to call me in the midnight. But even though you called like that. So in such conditions we use. Next, everything was good. You needn't have shouted at all. Unnecessarily you shouted. And everything was good only really. Even though it was good, you shouted. So you needn't have shouted at all. So like that you see, when something happened in the past, when we feel now that it was not necessary, we use this structure and all these sentences. Thank you for watching this channel. We'll meet in the next episode.